Hi everyone, welcome again to another video on Love is Blind Season 6. And this is the part 2 video for Chelsea and Jimmy, where we'll be looking at their relationship after the pods. So first, spoiler alert, I've seen the whole season and the reunion now. Also, I understand that it's a heavily edited show. I'm only analyzing the characters portrayed. I also believe that people can grow and change. So I've noticed that there's something in our culture where when it comes to talking about attachment styles, there somehow is a tendency for the avoidant types to get more of a bad edit for being cold, withdrawn, and unfeeling in relationships. Whereas the anxious types who are also capable of bad behavior, they tend to be more forgiven because they're seen as more of the loving person, the more giving person, and somehow more the victim in this dynamic. And here I want to realize that the anxiously attached type can also be psychologically dangerous just as much as the avoidant type. So Chelsea has an anxious attachment style, which means that out of fear of abandonment, she tends to behave more needy and clingy to ensure her partner stays.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm a huge nurturer. I'm over here like really trying, really throwing out everything to you.
She also demands her partner to match her level of neediness and display of affection.
And I want you to give me all of you.
I'm not gonna be able to tell you I love you every single hour of the day just because I'm working from home. You know, I love you to death and I really do care about you, but truthfully, you've been a little clingy.
And of course, it's understandable why Chelsea is the way she is.
Being told that, I love you, or you look pretty. It makes you very secure in your relationship, which I think is so important. And I've never had that.
Why she's so insecure and so anxiously attached.
I've been cheated on a lot.
And it's easy to have sympathy for her and justify her behavior. However, the saying goes that hurt people hurt people. And my question is, does our past trauma excuse our current bad behavior towards others? Does our past trauma take away all the accountability from the choices that we do make today? A pattern that I've noticed with Chelsea is that she tends to pick the biggest fights when things seem to be going well.
Your friends and who you hang out with says a lot about you, and
They all told me they really liked you.
Good, yeah, we love that.
That makes me happy because today I was worried about you, babe. You had me really worried.
Why are we worried?
She picks a fight when Jimmy is saying how great things are going and when she feels the most secure with him.
Yesterday was the biggest step for me in this process, meeting my family. That's a huge deal for me, and I feel great.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I love you even more.
I was so cranky with you this morning. I was like, man, I was so mad at him.
Whereas she tends to be most loving and affectionate when she's insecure about Jimmy's love.
I saw a picture of the girl that he almost picked yesterday, and she's stunning. I don't know if that's kind of messing with his mind a little bit. I cooked you dinner. I stayed by myself.
I'm thankful.
Then I sat and watched your fucking show with you, and you say I'm too clean, and then went upstairs and had sex with you?
Well, if you're gonna bring up the sex, you're the one that wanted to have sex.
Yeah, I
also
did.
Maybe wanted a little breather from that too.
Or when Jimmy's about to leave the relationship.
Do you not think that I care about you?
You don't.
You just think I'm full of shit every time I tell you how I feel?
I do. You know what I've given?
If you think I'm full of shit with everything I've told you, I don't care to be with you either.
Please don't leave. Stop. Stop. We're talking.
You overstep my boundaries.
And I think this is the anxiously attached version of the hot and cold. Chelsea is loving, affectionate, clingy when things might be a bit shaky, and then she switches to becoming quite vicious when you thought you guys were good. And I think this cycle is because when Chelsea is being very giving and needy, there's also a huge part of her that is very angry about that.
I love you, and I give you so much of me, and I want you to give me all of you. I just want you to want me.
I do want you. I do want you.
She feels it's unfair that she has to be the one that gives more than her partner in order to maintain the relationship. But at the time, because she is so fearful that Jimmy does not love her equally, she's too cowardly to express her upset. So when she finally does feel a bit safe, when she gets confirmation from Jimmy that he does love her, that's when she unleashes her anger.
You didn't kiss me once today.
I did.
You never tell me you love
Kissed
me.
you twice.
Okay. You started causing these problems and digging for shit the second you saw Jess's picture.
It's not about Jess at all.
However, as Jimmy, when you've had enough, when you threaten to leave, then that's when she cowers again.
I apologize, and the things that I said were things that were bothering me and really heavy on my heart. Was my delivery good? No, not at all. And I am so sorry about that, and I can't apologize anymore.
And this version of the hot and cold keeps you in is because when she reconciles with you after such a massive argument, so quickly and unconditionally, it feels like a big achievement.
But every conflict Chelsea and I have had, we've been able to get through it. I love that about her.
So then you're more compelled to stay in the relationship because you feel like you've worked so hard to be in a good place again.
Do I want to give it a shot? Yeah, I do. I love you, I care about you, and I really want to try.
As her partner, you're tricked into thinking that this is a problem with a solution, when in reality, it's just lather, rinse, repeat, because none of your issues have actually been processed and resolved.
You can't hold that against me for the rest of your life either.
And you're both actually still holding grudges.
So you calling me clingy, you saying that
You were being clingy.
We're getting married. So
Over the last couple days.
With you the day you called me clingy,
Yes.
or to say that you didn't want to have sex with me anymore and I was the one pushing it on you?
When did I say that? You got drunk and said that I do not want to be here.
You throw in the towel with one issue?
In addition, Chelsea has never truly taken any accountability for her part in the argument.
Yeah, I got a dirty martini drunk the other night, and
That's okay.
we had an argument, and I kind of just played it into him, and it wasn't fair to him. How I delivered it. That's not
So
my character.
you were in the wrong.
I was in the wrong. Well, debatable.
It wouldn't be an argument if you thought you were
Yeah.
100% in the wrong.
I think Jimmy mistakes conflict denial for conflict resolution. I think he only looks at the start and the end of their big arguments, and he thinks the fights were so massive, but Chelsea always recovers quickly and we make up sort of the next day. And if we could survive that, we could survive anything.
You date someone long enough, naturally, conflict comes. It either makes you or it breaks you. And we've handled it amazing.
But in my humble opinion, not processing things, pretending those fights were no biggie,
I don't even think they've been fights. They've just been, conversation.
brushing things under the carpet, that's not conflict resolution. Effie, extroverted, feeling inferior, can have a very binary view when it comes to harmony versus conflict. To Jimmy, it's either we're in complete conflict and it's over, or we've made up and we're in perfect harmony. Jimmy doesn't look at the nuances. Yes, we've made up, but did we really resolve all our issues? Did we process everything that caused the fight? Should we be having such a massive row in the first place and ripping into each other like we did? A big reason why there's no psychological safety with Chelsea is because she makes you think she's okay with an issue when she really isn't, and then she explodes on you when you trip up. One example of this is actually the AD is stacked incident.
That woman is absolutely stacked. AD. I say that in the most respectful.
Babe, you can say whatever she's a bookshelf.
Judging by how openly and unshy Chelsea is about talking sex and body parts,
I did feel his wiener. Is it big?
and how Chelsea has obviously told Jimmy a lot about AD before the party,
You love AD. I'm excited to meet AD.
my theory is that Chelsea has told Jimmy off camera how stacked AD is in a way that was fun and jokingly at the time. And because Jimmy has not realized how insecure Chelsea is at this point, the fact that she so candidly talked about AD's body with him made him think that this was an acceptable topic of conversation with her.
I saw what he said. He goes, that girl,
Whoa.
she's pretty stacked.
Embarrassing me.
And Jimmy had to learn the hard way that she can bring it up, but not him.
I sat there by myself after you just commented on how great her body was.
Another big example is obviously the Jimmy's secret one-night stand with his female friend.
No, I don't give a fuck. I know you fucked her, and you told me that.
Because I want you to trust me. I told you off camera that, like,
I know, but then
I don't want to talk about that.
First off, this whole incident is quite complicated where I feel that Chelsea did do wrong, but then Jimmy created the problem in the first place. I think it was Jimmy's choice to unnecessarily expose his friend by introducing her to Chelsea on camera.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
And then it was also Jimmy's choice to disclose their one-night stand to Chelsea, thinking that Chelsea could keep this information off camera.
you fucking do. You told me you fucked her.
However, they must have had a discussion beforehand where Chelsea must have agreed to not expose Jimmy and his friend with this little secret.
I told you out of confidence about one of my friends that I had a prior relationship with.
She agreed to keep this information private and then broke her promise the minute she's upset.
You threw that in my fucking face. You disrespected her, you disrespected me.
So now, in my view, the accountability is on her. Again, she makes you trust that she's fine with something, when in reality, she is not fine at all. In this particular case, I could argue that Jimmy probably was more convinced that Chelsea was okay with him and his female friends because she herself is still best friends with her ex-boyfriend.
But I also have close guy friends, so one of my best friends is my ex-boyfriend. So when he told me about you guys, I had no room to even say anything.
The first night that we got engaged and we got our phones back, you FaceTimed her.
So then going forward, how is Jimmy supposed to feel safe being vulnerable with Chelsea? How will he feel safe to share sensitive or embarrassing thoughts, feelings, information when she might throw it back in his face, even do it publicly when she's upset?
I don't know. Sorry, you guys had a little secret little love triangle.
Exactly. Like, that makes me reluctant to tell you things, and that's a true problem.
Another point is a lot of people have been confused by how Jimmy initially said that he'll forgive Chelsea for betraying his trust.
I need you never to cross the line on the things you crossed the line on the other night. Ever.
But then later change his mind and break up with Chelsea for that exact reason. And this might again be explained by his FE, extraverted feeling inferior function. FE needs to survey feelings and values outside of themselves in order to know how they themselves feel. So initially, I think Jimmy was responding to Chelsea's feelings, how she does not want them to break up.
When things get tough, like, I need to know that you're not just gonna walk away from me.
But later on, Jimmy must have spoken to other friends and family, probably the female friend in question, who obviously felt that this should be a deal breaker. And Jimmy ultimately sides with that perspective.
It isn't my reputation. I don't care about it. It's hers that I care about. That's messed up for any future guy that she has anything with or anything.
And I think what we've seen with Chelsea is that her partner is unable to feel psychological safety with her because regardless of how loving she may be in between fights.
Thanks for talking to me. Thanks for loving me.
When she is upset, emotional, she sees red and she's out to get you. She is capable of assassinating your character.
Do you think I'm lying to you about that?
Yeah, I do, because I heard from other people that you were not with just fraternity brothers.
Who? Mackenzie?
Painting you way worse than you actually are.
Who were you with? I know it was
Jacob
Jess.
Lee, West. I was not with Jess. I've never saw Jess.
I heard it was Jess.
Goodness.
How embarrassing.
I was not with Jess.
She also ignores all facts and reality.
I damn sure didn't see Jess. To me, it sounds like you're fishing. You don't even have an explanation for it.
Even gaslights your reality to make you seem unreasonable.
I'm like walking on eggshells with you. I can't tell you things that hurt my feelings because you get so upset.
Like what?
And she doesn't care about collateral damage. Friends and family are not safe. And the only way to appease Chelsea when she's in this state is to just take it.
This is making me mad. Okay? I'm telling you that my feelings were hurt. You said hurtful comments. You made me feel uncomfy.
Okay.
So just take it.
Admit to everything that she is accusing you of, fact or fiction. Because it seems like if you try to reassure her by providing evidence that you do love her,
all the girls talked about how great their connections were and like how
I bragged about you all night.
You were the only person who wasn't coming up to me and like being like lovey and like.
I kissed you more than anybody kissed their woman tonight.
She takes that as you invalidating her feelings.
Oh, I'm so grateful to be on this trip with you.
I just need you to hear me out. It like hurts. It really hurts.
An alternative way to appease her is to always make her feel that you're 1 foot out the door, because that's when she backtracks and starts saying how much love there is between you.
I felt more in love with you yesterday than I ever have. I felt it so much from you.
Yeah.
Yesterday. What else can I do to make you feel like, or this could be a yes?
Either way, you're almost forced to participate in the toxicity. And the note I want to end on is this. Just like I said in my previous video on generational trauma with Clay and his father, we are accountable for our own healing and growth. It's our responsibility to do our inner work, to choose to grow and do better by others, and not pass on and perpetuate the cycle of pain. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful and interesting. If so, please like, subscribe, and share to support my channel. I've developed my own methods of interpreting personality types, and if you would like us to analyze your personality type and make sense of your relationships, communication, and decision making, then please find booking details in the description box below.